Edwards Air Force Base, California, February 2026. The United States Air Force just did something it hasn't done in decades. It poured $4.5 billion into a single aircraft program and accelerated production by 25%. Not because the program was behind, because something in the threat environment changed fast enough that waiting was no longer acceptable. The aircraft is the B-21 Raider, the most classified bomber ever built. And right now, today, China and Russia are watching every fragment of information they can collect about it, because they know it's coming. They just can't figure out what it can actually do. And that is exactly the problem. Here's what Beijing and Moscow know about the B-21. They know it exists, they know it flies, they know it's designed specifically to penetrate the most advanced air defense systems on the planet, the systems they've spent hundreds of billions building. Here's what they don't know. Its true radar cross-section, its full electronic warfare capability, how deep it can go, how quiet it actually is when it wants to be. Most of the B-21's capability profile is still classified at the Special Access Program level. China is building defenses against an aircraft they cannot fully characterize. Russia is wargaming against a bomber whose real numbers they don't have. That uncertainty, that gap between what they fear and what they can prove, is the most powerful thing the B-21 possesses right now. And this video is about why. Why now? The context. To understand why the B-21 matters, you need to understand the problem it was built to solve. The United States has had the B-2 Spirit since the 1990s. 20 aircraft, radar-absorbent skin, long range, a platform that could reach anywhere. It was designed for one world, a world where the most dangerous air defense systems were Soviet-era technology that American stealth could reliably evade. That world no longer exists. China now fields layered air defense systems, the HQ-9, the newer HQ-19, and the ultra-long-range HQ-22, each designed specifically to complicate the approach of a stealth aircraft. Russia operates the S-400 and S-500 network, built with one purpose: to do what older systems couldn't, and track aircraft that weren't supposed to be trackable. The B-2 was built before these systems existed at scale. The B-21 was built because they do. The Air Force has been explicit. The B-21 is primarily designed for Indo-Pacific command operations in a potential conflict with China, not the Soviet threat landscape that shaped the B-2. This isn't an upgrade. It's a completely different answer to a completely different problem. The aircraft, through the eyes of fear. Don't think about the B-21 as a piece of hardware. Think about it the way a Chinese air defense commander has to think about it. You command a network of radar stations, surface-to-air missile batteries, and fighter aircraft covering the approaches to your most valuable targets. Your system is layered, redundant, and designed specifically to track aircraft that don't want to be tracked. Then your intelligence service tells you the Americans are fielding a new bomber. A flying wing, smaller than the B-2, lower observable across a broader range of radar frequencies, designed specifically to penetrate the exact network you've built. You start wargaming. You run simulations of it entering your airspace, and you realize the problem immediately. You're modeling an aircraft whose real stealth profile you don't have, whose electronic warfare capability you can't fully characterize, whose exact approach profile is classified at a level your intelligence services haven't cracked. The B-21's advanced stealth characteristics are designed to evade advanced radar systems, and it's being engineered with a modular open systems approach that enables rapid upgrades to avionics, sensors, and weapons systems, keeping it operationally relevant as defenses evolve. The last part is the critical detail.
The B-21 isn't a fixed target, it updates. The defenses China builds against the B-21 today may be obsolete against the B-21 in 5 years, because the B-21 in 5 years will be a fundamentally different aircraft in terms of capability, running on the same airframe. You are not building defenses against a bomber. You are building defenses against a platform designed to outpace whatever defenses you build. That's the architectural problem China cannot solve. The classified test program. Here's what we actually know about where the B-21 is right now. The first B-21 Raider flew on November 10, 2023, a flight that aviation enthusiasts photographed from outside the fence line at Plant 42 in Palmdale, California. That aircraft has been flying regularly ever since, at points conducting up to 2 test flights per week. On September 11, 2025, a second B-21 flew from Palmdale to Edwards Air Force Base, joining the test campaign. Air Force Secretary Troy Menck confirmed the flight directly. With 2 B-21s now flying, our test campaign accelerates. The addition of the second aircraft moves the program beyond basic flight performance into critical mission systems and weapons integration testing, the phase where the aircraft's actual combat capability gets proven. What does that mean in plain language? The first phase was, does it fly correctly? The second phase, the phase happening right now, is, does it kill correctly?
Weapons integration, electronic warfare validation, stealth characterization across real-world conditions. The classified tests that answer the questions China and Russia most want answered. And every result from those tests goes directly into a classification envelope that Beijing and Moscow cannot open. The wall it has to break. Put yourself inside the B-21 on a simulated mission over the Taiwan Strait. You are alone. There is no fighter escort. No aircraft could survive the environment you're flying into. You are the penetrating element of a strike package that depends entirely on your ability to remain undetected until the moment you choose to be noticed. Ahead of you is one of the most sophisticated integrated air defense networks ever assembled. Radar stations with overlapping coverage, long-range missile systems capable of speeds above Mach 4, fighter aircraft on alert waiting for a cue. The entire network designed with one purpose, to find something that doesn't want to be found and kill it before it reaches its target. This is what the B-21 was designed to walk through. Not around, not above, through. And here is the uncomfortable truth at the center of all of it. Nobody outside a classified compartment knows with certainty whether it can. The test program is proving it against simulated threats, against radar replicas, against electronic warfare environments that replicate what a real penetration mission would face. But the actual answer, the real number, the real margin, is classified. China doesn't know it. Russia doesn't know it. And that uncertainty is a weapon in itself. The question China cannot answer. China is developing its own answer to the B-21, the H-20, a stealth bomber designed for intercontinental range. There is one significant problem. The H-20 has yet to make its first flight. China's production capacity is being flexed toward the program, but as of now, the B-21 is flying and the H-20 is not. That asymmetry matters more than it sounds. The United States has had decades of experience operating stealth bombers at scale. The B-2's operational history, its missions over Serbia, Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, built an institutional knowledge base that China's bomber force simply doesn't have yet. The B-21 inherits that knowledge. But beyond the hardware, there's a deeper question China is asking in war rooms right now and cannot fully answer. If a conflict starts tomorrow, if the order goes out and the B-21s are already airborne from Ellsworth, from Whiteman, from Guam, what are we actually tracking? The most significant military threat both China and Russia face is the B-21, and neither can answer a key question. How many will the U.S. Air Force ultimately build? They cannot answer it because the U.S. Air Force hasn't fully answered it either. The minimum is 100. Senior analysts argue 200 to 300 is needed for sustained high-end conflict. Some assessments go higher. An adversary trying to plan against a fleet of unknown size with unknown capability details flying from bases that could expand, that adversary is planning against a threat they cannot fully define. That is not a comfortable position.
The production signal, February 2026. On February 24, 2026, weeks ago from when this video goes out, the United States Air Force announced it had reached an agreement with Northrop Grumman, applying $4.5 billion to increase annual production capacity by 25%, compressing delivery timelines while maintaining cost and performance discipline. Read that again carefully. This is not a routine budget announcement. When a government accelerates production of its most classified strategic bomber by 25% and does it with an emergency funding mechanism, it is sending a signal, not to its own pilots, to the people it's building the aircraft to deter. The Air Force Secretary said directly, the B-21 is foundational to our long-range strike capability and credible deterrence. Accelerating production capacity now ensures we deliver operational capability to combatant commanders faster. Faster than what? Faster than the original timeline. And the original timeline was already calibrated against a specific threat window. Aircraft deliveries began on schedule in 2025, with the first operational aircraft on track to arrive at Ellsworth Air Force Base, South Dakota in 2027. Remember that number, the 2027 clock. China has publicly stated, through military channels, through official doctrine, through statements that Western intelligence agencies take seriously, that its military should be ready for war by 2027. That date is not random. It aligns with leadership timelines, with Taiwan pressure points, with the window in which Beijing believes its military modernization reaches a level of capabilities sufficient to challenge American power projection in the Pacific. The B-21 was built for exactly the scenario China is preparing for, and it arrives, on current schedule, exactly when China says it will be ready. That is not an accident.
Closing reframe. Here's the thing about the B-21 that almost nobody says out loud. Its most important mission may never happen. Not because it fails, because it works, before it ever takes off for combat. The entire logic of a weapon like the B-21 is deterrence. The calculation it forces on the other side, if we move, something we cannot fully track, cannot fully characterize, cannot counter, will be on its way to targets we cannot afford to lose. That calculation, that weight of unknown capability sitting on the other side of every strategic decision, is the B-21's first mission. It is already flying that mission right now. Every test flight over the California desert is a data point that China's intelligence services are trying to decode. Every production acceleration announcement is a signal, read in Beijing and Moscow with careful attention. Every classified result that stays classified is another piece of uncertainty loaded into the adversary's wargaming. The B-21 is designed to penetrate the most heavily defended battle spaces, tightening the window in which near-peer air defenses could deny U.S. power projection. The aircraft is named after the Doolittle Raiders, the men who flew B-25s off an aircraft carrier in 1942 and bombed Tokyo, not because the raid would win the war, but because it would change the psychological equation, because it would force Japan to defend something it thought was safe, because it would demonstrate a reach that the enemy hadn't believed was possible. The B-21 carries that name deliberately. It is a message.
We can reach what you think is unreachable. We can strike what you think is protected. And we are already coming. The most classified bomber in American history is 2 years away from operational deployment. China is watching. Russia is watching. And neither of them can fully answer the question that matters most. What happens if it actually flies? If you were commanding China's air defense network right now, what's your move? How do you prepare for something you can't fully characterize? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more stories about the weapons and decisions quietly reshaping the balance of power before the first shot is ever fired, subscribe. This is Global Strike Matrix, and the next briefing is already loaded.